Welcome, everyone. Thank you for attending the Admitted Student Mini-Series on things to do in Fargo Moorhead. My name is Ann Johnson. I am the Associate Director in the Office of Admission. So I will kind of be your host today and introduce you to some students who will share about their experiences and some of their favorite things to do in the area. If at any point you have questions, you can put those in the chat or unmute yourself and ask those, and we'll make sure we get those answered. So that you can learn a little bit more about the area. I always encourage every student who is exploring where they're going to go to college to think about not only the school, but also where it's located in that area, because you're not only going to go to school here for 4 years, you're also going to live here. So we still have a couple students joining us. So I will give them a couple minutes to get connected, and then we'll kind of jump right into some of those questions. So if you are just joining us, welcome. We're going to give an overview of who we are, and then we'll kind of jump into any questions that you have, share a little bit more about things that there are to do in the area. So feel free to put your questions in the chat as we go, or you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask those questions as well. So for starters, as I mentioned, my name is Ann Johnson. I'm the Associate Director here in the Office of Admissions. So in my role, I get to work with prospective students who are trying to figure out where they want to go to school. And I always encourage you to think about not only where you want to go and what the school has to offer, but also the community that it's in, because you're not only going to go to school there for 4 years, you're also going to live in that area and get involved and maybe have internships and other things like that. So always fun things to kind of think about as you go. So now I will turn it over to Alyssa and let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Knudsen. I'm a junior here at NDSU. I'm studying journalism and history, and I'm from Bismarck, North Dakota. One of my favorite things to do in the Fargo Moorhead area is definitely go downtown. I think it's a really cool area and there's a lot to do down there. There's a lot of restaurants and people are always hanging out. So that's probably my favorite place in Fargo.
My name is Lily Zemke. I'm a freshman in mechanical engineering here at NDSU. And I'd say my favorite thing in Fargo is honestly just to like walk around and go to the movies and do things with my friends. We like to go to the mall and we've gone to a lot of movies, so it's been a ton of fun.
And then I'm Kylie. I'm a senior this year in civil engineering from Prior Lake, Minnesota. And then my favorite thing to do, probably just go shopping. There's way too many places to go shopping in like West Fargo and Fargo in general. And then of course the park. That's always fun to walk around.
Awesome. And so for those of you who are joining us who maybe have never been to Fargo, before we jump into more of your questions, I'll kind of give you a little bit of kind of an overview and some scope. So I am newer to the area. I've lived here about 7 years now, but I actually grew up in Alabama, so very far away. And Fargo, Moorhead is kind of the combined area, and it's comprised of about 250,000 total people. And of that 250,000, there are about 30,000 college students in the area. So there are 5 colleges in this region. So lots of college students, lots to do, which kind of means your student ID kind of becomes your golden ticket everywhere you go, because lots of restaurants and stores and shops all around town give you discounts to college students, which is always a fun little perk. And we also are really involved in the community on campus. We're the largest university in the area, and we also have like our homecoming parade that's in downtown Fargo. So they'll block off the streets for that, which is just really fun. So there's lots of fun ways that our campus kind of integrates with the community and gets to do some fun things in the downtown area, which is about 9 blocks from our main campus. So pretty close by and not too difficult to get to and kind of go back and forth when you're kind of cruising around. So hopefully that kind of helps just to orient you a little bit with where we are and kind of what that looks like. On our main campus is where we have most of our classes, but we do have a downtown campus as well that's located in downtown Fargo, where we have our College of Business And our School of Art, Architecture, and Design is downtown as well. So some students will have classes downtown and here on main campus if they're interested in those areas. All right, so now I'll kick it off with some questions, and don't forget to keep sending those questions through the chat feature if you'd like. But our first question is, where is your favorite place to study off campus? Alyssa, I'll let you answer that first.
Yeah, there's a lot of places you can go. Some of my favorite are definitely coffee shops around town. There's a bunch everywhere pretty much, but especially downtown, there's a lot of coffee shops and they're super cute. They're fairly quiet. So one of my favorites is Babs. It's very cozy. There's a lot of places to sit, and there's usually a lot of students in there too. So it's kind of a cool community in that area too.
I'd also say the coffee shops are pretty cool. There's plenty around. There's some like really close to campus, and then there's also a bunch downtown too. So you can walk to some, you could take the bus to others. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, there'll be something within that distance.
And I'm not much of a coffee drinker, but Sandy's Donuts, on the other hand, has donuts, and that is way more up my alley. So if I were to do homework off campus, it would definitely be Sandy's Donuts, or maybe like the waffle place, like the waffle and coffee thing, but just get the waffles, something like that, probably.
Awesome. I guess I'm a nerd. I'm also in grad classes right now, and I like sitting at the downtown library if I just want to get off campus. There's of course a library here on campus, but there's also one in right downtown Fargo that just has some pretty scenery, and it's just kind of a fun little change of scenery if I want to branch out. Okay, so another question is, how do internships work? Do those all have to be in the area? And have any of you done an internship? Anyone want to answer that?
Yeah, so I haven't done an internship yet, but I'm working on applying and getting into one. I know that they really work with students at NDSU to try to get you an internship kind of wherever you want to go. So if you want to work in your hometown, they can totally try to find you contacts there. Otherwise, NDSU has a lot of contacts in the Fargo Moorhead area because we're so involved with the community. And so I just worked with my advisor and he's like, hey, this internship might interest you, so you can apply to this. And I know a lot of other students have kind of done the similar things and gotten internships in companies around Fargo or back home too.
And then also our career center kind of works hand in hand with a job fair that goes on throughout the year a couple times. And so many companies from around the area and also from other areas come and you can talk to them. You can see what companies are coming, look into them. And they're always eager to hire NDSU students. So that's how I've met a lot of like companies that I've applied for in the past, which worked really well.
Great. Okay. Another question is, how do you find out about fun things that there are to do in the area? So I know in another mini series that we had, we talked more specifically about things to do on campus. But if we're thinking about just getting involved in the Fargo Moorhead area, how have some of you found out about just fun things to do off campus or on the weekends?
I'd say my biggest resource has first just been my friends that grew up in Fargo, because I forgot to mention this earlier, but I'm from Fridley, Minnesota, so not Fargo. And my biggest resource has been them, but also there's just signs all around campus of stuff going on. There was the Holiday Lights parade last weekend, so that was just another parade downtown that was all festive and holiday themed. And then all of like the social media accounts, there's a billion of them out there, and they'll be for Fargo, they'll be for NDSU, and they're just going to post about all the different events going on. So you can pretty much find whatever you want. There's a good chance it'll be somewhere.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like there's always something going on. And depending on the time of year, one thing that I really love about Fargo is that there's like seasonal things to do. So in the winter, it doesn't slow down. There's still like a Frostival festival that has like fun things to do in the snow and different like sledding things that you can do. And I feel like there's just always things going on. And then as it gets warmer, there's the farmers market that happens on the weekends and just lots of different things. It doesn't only happen when it's nice out or only happen when it's wintry out. So I know there's a really fun like oh, what's it called? Like cocoa and I can't think of it, but all the shops downtown serve different kinds of hot chocolate. So leading up to Christmas, it's like a fun way to get your Christmas shopping done and then warm up with hot cocoa. So lots of cool things to do. Okay, another question that we had is, do most students at NDSU go home on the weekends or do they stick around?
I would say most people stick around just because there's so much to do around the Fargo Moorhead area. It's definitely not dead on the weekends. There's still a lot to do and a lot of people stay back. So I would say mostly people stay. It kind of depends where you're from, I guess. But I would say on the majority, a lot of my friends have stayed and we've done fun things on the weekend and kind of just taken a break from school to do a lot of other fun things around town.
Perfect. So kind of along those same lines. So I know at NDSU, it's about 50-50 for students who bring a car to campus or don't bring a car to campus. So could you all share just about your experience? How do you get around in the area? And do you have a car on campus? And if not, how do you get to go off campus to do some of these fun things?
I did not have a car my freshman year. I don't think any of us did. I personally just found some friends with cars and would just tag along every time they were like saying, "Oh, I'm going to Target." I'd be like, "I want to go. Like, sign me up." And then boom, ride. Which was pretty convenient. There's still people in all over the place that are freshmen that do have cars. So just becoming friends with them works pretty well. Otherwise, our map bus system goes all around the Fargo Moorhead area, and you just have to be a student to use those. And those go all around to different grocery stores or the mall and all sorts of places.
I'd also say there's a lot of stuff within walking distance of campus as well. I know my suite mate really likes to walk, so she's walking everywhere all the time. But there's so much within like a mile to a 2 mile radius of campus that you could walk to a lot of places if you wanted to.
Anything to add, Alyssa?
I would also say that if you're like looking for rides home, you can also find carpool rides. I know there's like a whole Facebook page where people are like, "Hey, I'm going home this weekend. Anyone need a ride to the cities?" And then if it's not exactly where you need to go, your parents can kind of pick you up halfway or maybe 20 minutes away. So that's a super great resource too to just get rides back home too. And yeah, so you can pretty much find those with other students. Again, carpool.
Perfect. Great question. Yeah. So if you do bring a car, great. You'll probably get some fast friends for those people who don't have cars and want to ride with you. But if you don't, you'll certainly be okay. Lots of ways to get around. And like I said, it's 50-50. So you will certainly not be alone either way. Okay. And so we're kind of wrapping up to the end of our questions here. So I'll give a last call for any questions that you all are wondering about. We want to make sure we get those answered. But as we kind of wrap up, would you all share your favorite place to eat off campus? I know most of you probably eat on campus a lot of the times. There's so much good food with our 3 dining centers. But if you're going to go out with your friends and venture out, where's your favorite place to go?
Yeah, so my favorite place to probably eat would be Granite City. I'm not sure if that's a chain, but I never had one growing up and it's super good. It's a super great place to eat. But I also like for more of a dessert kind of thing, Insomnia Cookies is great, but there's a scoop and dough place where you can eat like raw cookie dough, and that's a very good place to eat as well.
I think I'd have to agree on the Insomnia cookies. And then also Rhombus Guys has pretty good pizza. So that's a good place to go.
I love that we all have like different ones also, because my favorite is for sure kind of a split between Sicky's Garage, which is in like West Fargo, and Pounds, because they both just have like, wow, yeah, it's pretty good. Burgers, fries, mac and cheese, you name it. It's too good.
Awesome. Yeah, so many restaurants. And really the best way to know if you like the area is to come and visit. So as we kind of wrap up here, if there aren't any final questions, just really encourage you to come to campus. We'd love to show you around on campus, but we also give you a Fargo Moorhead guide when you come and visit us in your visit folder that has lots of recommendations for restaurants and local things to check out, as well as some fun coupons in the back so you can get some deals on some of those places that you're visiting. So always recommend that you come on campus, eat on campus, but then also at least drive through our downtown area and kind of scope that out too, so you can get a feel for if it's a place that you could call home. So we hope you'll come and see us in person. If you have any other questions, you can always reach out to us at the Office of Admission. You can email us at just ndsu.admission@ndsu.edu, or of course, call us and reach out anytime. But if you're watching this, you're obviously admitted to NDSU, so that's super exciting, and we hope to see you in the fall. Thank you all.